What's up, everybody? It's been a while since I made a video. Been working a shit ton, wrapping up a bunch of jobs. I was hoping to take the winter off. I don't think I'm gonna get to. Man, did I finish that beat? Guess so. So today I've been off. It's Monday, but I've mostly been getting prepped up for winter because we're supposed to get some snow tomorrow. So I figured I'd show a couple little updates and do a quick run through on some of the trails I've cut in, and just kind of let everybody know it's still going on out here. It's just I gotta work to buy the stuff to finish everything. So let's start here. I'm down in the valley on the four-wheeler. I don't know if you can see the Christmas lights up there, but my camper's up that way at the top of the hill. This kind of hard to see. It's full of leaves right now, but this is where I've started digging the pond and damming it up right here in this creek bed. It's been a really dry fall, so we lost all the leaves already, as you can see. We didn't get much fall, and we're straight into winter now. But this, next hard rain will all flow into here, and it gives me the ability to keep, I don't know, I probably pulled at least 100 gallons worth of 5-gallon buckets of dirt out of there, and I've just kind of wanted to see how it's going before I keep digging too much farther. So that's about it. That's the pond. It has been started. It is not close to finished yet, so I'm gonna take you guys on a slow run through the trail I've made. Ripple's over there happy as hell. He found a deer bone, a small one. I don't see a carcass anywhere, but he found something to chew on. Look out, boy, you're right in my way. Been making trails for a while. This goes through the creek bed and then loops around. It's not easy riding out here with all these down trees and hills. This trail goes up to the house. So that's one of the many trails I've made out here. Part of my winter prep today was getting these Christmas lights up. As much as I'd love to claim this was for being festive, we're getting to that part of the year where it is dark more than it is daytime, and I am at work when it's daytime. So I went ahead and bought some LED Christmas lights so I can, I have to walk from the camper here over to the shed pretty often. In the nighttime, at any time. This is where my fridge and everything is. Obviously, as it gets colder, I won't even need the fridge. I can just set stuff outside. But walking around with flashlight, headlamps, all that has been getting kind of aggravating as I've been at home in the dark a lot more. So I went ahead and got those put up. Kind of nice. Brightens things up around here. And then I haven't made a video since I got all the plywood up on the shed. So I'm still lacking my trim. My measurements got a little... I forgot a couple things when I was setting this up. So I didn't get my measurements quite right for it to be 8 foot. But it works out. It's a little bigger. So I'll just be taking 1x4 here. And then I gotta do 1x4 on the corners. Same over here, there's a little gap. But the plywood's done all the way around. And eventually I'll get a garage door put in where this opening is, but I don't need it right now. And as far as right now, the roof is up and everything stays dry, so it's serving its purpose. Nothing's in a storage unit. It's a mess in there right now. I got shit stacked everywhere, but like I said, I've been at work. I haven't even really been able to mess around here too much, but I'm gonna spend the next few days here because the weather's gonna be bad. But yeah, other than that, I mean, not too much has changed. I got new bulbs today for the inside of the camper too, because I was getting to the point where I had like 2 lights that worked in there and I couldn't see to cook. So moving right along. I don't know if I ever made a video about getting this all fully clear. There used to be just massive amounts of brush, and now I just have these 2 logs, which I got my bar oil today. I may get the chainsaw out here, depending on how much it snows. Get the chainsaw out here and get this chopped in half and drug where it needs to go. Started using a lot of these logs I've started using as like landscaping timbers. They work really well to mark the driveways, and I can direct the water down the hill with them. They won't last forever, obviously. And oh, there was a brush pile here, and this big stump has been burnt once. I'm running through my head whether I'm going to start a fire tonight and try to go ahead and get rid of that guy, because it's going to be cold and I don't really feel like sitting in the camper. But other than that, it's changed a lot since the last time I made a video. We skipped right through fall and went into winter, so I think it's about 39 degrees right now or something. Snow's on the way. Anyhow, I just wanted to make a little video kind of showing that I'm still out here trucking, hitting a bit of a standstill, just because it's getting to that time of year where I got to take every day of work I can get. And on the days I'm not doing anything super interesting around here. I'm just finishing up projects and getting things winterized. And you know, I can make a million 4-wheeler videos, but I don't always want to do that. Sometimes I just want to ride. Last thing is, and it's going to be damn near see. It'll be hard to see this, but I did get my first layout line, and then all the leaves fell, so you can't really see it, but that's over. But it goes on over that way. It's kind of hard to see. It goes over 24 foot that way. So there's going to be a 24 by 16 cabin. This was originally where I was going to put the dog pen. I mean, we actually rode through here on the 4-wheeler earlier, but as I got to looking at it, I was like, man, I've got like maybe 6 small trees I need to cut down, and this is the perfect spot for me to fit the cabin. And then the shed's right there, and the power's right on the other side of the shed. So what I'll end up doing is running power from the power pole to the shed, and then splitting it up so I can put a 100 amp panel over here in the cabin. I haven't started the cabin yet. I was going to go ahead and dig holes and put posts and concrete and everything, and I realized, man, like, you still aren't done with the shed, and there's just some things I needed to button up around here before I go starting such a big project, because it's going to take a lot of my time and money. So I want to try and make sure I've got everything else as done and ready as I can, just because, well, winter's going to get slow. It's going to get tough. I'm not going to have the money to do everything, so I'm kind of stockpiling food and things like that, so that it's an easy winter. It's only 3 months, it'll be over with. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Pretty short and sweet today. Obviously it's too cold for my outdoor shower to work anymore, but it was good to me while it was warm enough. And hell, we had a 80-degree day about 3 days ago, so I got to use it for a last time before it gets too cold. And I mean, right now probably all the water's frozen. It's been below freezing the last few nights, but I'm just keeping on out here. Got the 4-wheeler, so it gives me a little bit of something that it does a lot of work for me, but it also gives me something to do that's not always work. It's nice to be able to get around the property all the time and to all the corners. And you know, if I hear something crazy going on out there, I did have a old timer come fill me in, and he said that they've seen bear in the area before. They've definitely seen mountain lion in the area before, and he said that he's, in his life of living out here, has seen a bobcat at least a dozen times. So there's some predators out here. Nothing I'm too worried about. Anybody that knows me knows I've got more guns than I can shoot at one time, so that doesn't really freak me out. And I got a big dog. He'll let me know something's happening before anything crazy goes down. But it is good to know that it's going to be winter. Stuff's going to be looking for food. But other than that, everything's moving along. Like I said, I got some trim to do on that shed, and that'll be finished up. Started chipping at the pond and moved the location of the cabin and decided to go ahead. I got in my head I was going to build a bigger house. And then I started realizing, well, you're single. You're out there by yourself. It's just you and the dog. What do you need a bedroom for? So the real plan with this is I'm going to build the cabin 24 by 16. But once I build my other house, which will be a few years from now, but in the meantime, I can get out of the camper. I haven't figured out if I want to fix it up and sell it or fix it up and keep it yet. That'll be decided more when it gets there. But living in these woods with the trees that fall and the branches that fall, and just, you know, in general, it's nice to have a good solid structure. So my intention is to try to have that at least dried in and built by spring of next year. And then from there, I'll move on, get it finished up, and move on to building another house that'll be bigger, you know, something that's more for the rest of my life, permanent style. But then the way that I'm designing this cabin, it's going to be perfect for a recording studio, because basically there's an entryway, there's a bathroom, and there's a utility closet, and then it's one big room that is also the kitchen. So it'll be great, you know, to be able to have a place to put all my music stuff. And then I know so many musicians, to be able to, you know, throw, even in the wintertime, to be able to throw some kind of event where people can come out here with their instruments and we can record jam sessions, and there's a warm place to sleep. Because as right now, I wouldn't expect anybody to want to come out here and visit me. I got just the camper that's big enough for me and the dog, and there's nowhere warm to sleep. So I get it, but the intention is that I'll live in this for a couple years, get out of the camper, you know, get into something more solid, and then eventually that will be strictly just a recording studio. I'm kind of excited about that. That's something I've been meaning to do for years now, and well, life takes over. As much as I love having this property, it like completely put a fucking stop to my music, because I'm either working here or trying to get some rest here. So anyway, I don't think I need to say too much else about this. It's moving along. I'm starting to get the bills down, and well, everything's really going good. It's just getting cold, and this is the hardest time of year in Missouri. Real dark nights, only 8 hours of daylight, and below freezing temperatures most of the time. So keeping water warm, all that stuff's what I've been working on today. And I don't have a real super big plan for that. I just got some containers. I'll fill those up on days that it's not freezing and have them stored inside the camper, so there's at least 10 to 15 gallons of water at all time inside that stays warm. I do still yet, and this storm's not supposed to be super bad, but I still have yet to I need to get, you know, a backup heating source going. Either that be a generator that runs on gas in case I lose power, or a propane heater that runs on propane. Either one of those is so expensive. I really hope I don't lose power out here because my bills are pretty cheap. But that's kind of the next step in my getting ready for like the December, February, January, February of winter when it really gets rough. But for now, I'll be all right. I got my Christmas lights. I can see now without carrying lanterns around, and it's even brightens the mood a little bit. That's the first time I realized it. That's the first time I've ever put Christmas lights on my own house, and it's too bad it wasn't for Christmas as much as a purpose. But hey, get two birds stoned at the same time. Nothing wrong with that. Anyways, if you've been keeping up with this, you probably can see the progress from when I first got here. Not quite at a year. It'll be a year in February. So I got a few months before I see what a whole year throws at me here, but I'm really getting settled in, getting used to everything. And I just figured it was time to make an update, show off a little bit of my trails, and y'all take it easy.